Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss that how to connect multiple virtual lanes which have been created on a single switch. So for illustration, and we will be using router to connect these multiple VLANs created on a single switch. So the illustration is that we created one VLAN, we created another VLAN. So these are the ports which are members of this VLAN, and these are the ports which are members of this VLAN. The first VLAN is in subnet 1. The second VLAN is in subnet 2. It means they are in different subnets. For the first VLAN, we use this IP address, and for the second VLAN, we use this IP address. So I hope you know something about IP address. So you can see these are into different subnets. One is in .1 and that one is .10. So this number differentiate that they are part of different subnetwork. And this X shows that these are the host portion of IP address. So 1, 2, 3 in this way. Anyway, so this VLAN is in one subnet. This VLAN is another subnet. So they are in different subnets. Now to connect them. Now, if some of the data wants to travel from this VLAN to this VLAN, then switch will not allow this. Then we need a third entity, and today for that we are using a router. So router is there. What we will do, we will take an interface from the router and one interface from the switch, and we will connect them. And we will assign an IP address to the interface of the router, and that IP address will be from the same subnet from which other nodes of this VLAN have been taken. So I mean to say that this VLAN's IP address and this interfaces this IP address of this interface will be in the same subnet. Exactly in the same way for the VLAN on this side. So we have taken another interface on the router as well as switch, and now for this interface we have taken an IP address which belongs to the subnet of this VLAN. I want to emphasize that there is another way as well where we don't need these multiple cables, but for completeness I'm going to brief use this as well. Maybe next video we will discuss how to configure a router when we have only one cable to use. Okay, so just for completeness, for understanding. So anyway, this interface is in this VLAN and this interface is in this VLAN. Now on these all computers, we will assign additional address that is for default gateway. So what is that? For every host, if every host sees that if the destination address is not known, so it says that if the destination is not on the same subnet, then that packet will be forwarded to the default gateway. So this is the default gateway. So if any of the nodes thinks that this IP, I don't know about this IP, then they'll always forward that packet to a router that is known as default router or default gateway. So for every node we will assign a default gateway IP address. And the IP address of the default gateway and the host are taken to be in the same DOM, so same network. This is important. It means if this is the default gateway for this VLAN, then the IP address of this interface and the IP address of this segment needs to be in the same network. So for the default gateway, we have to take the IP address from that. And same is the case on this side as well. So this interface will be the default gateway for this VLAN. Then this IP address and these IP address should be in the same network. Now with this details, let's do the same thing in the packet tracer.